All right, testing, testing. Can people hear me? Can people see me? Am I streaming? I think I'm streaming. Is streaming. All right, cool. I'm streaming. All right, next. Let's call people. All right, let's let people know I am live. All right, so. Let's go on through list of some people. Let's see. If anybody's in chat, hello. Nobody's in chat yet. Hello. I'm just saying hello to myself, I guess. Anyway, if anybody's there, hope you're doing well today. All right, let's see who can make it. All right. Okay, I think I'm live. All right. Anyway. Okay. All right, I let everybody know. And let's see. For anybody who is not aware or who ends up watching the VOD later. Hi, my name is Nam, and I'm known as Crazy Asian or Crazy Asian on Twitch. And I am a sleight of hand enthusiast. So some people will actually outright and just say, I'm a magician. I'm pretty confident in what I can do, but I'm not sure if I would go that far as to say that I'm a full-fledged magician. But I have fun, and I enjoy it, so. Hey, thanks for the follow. Rob Kovacs, how you doing? Welcome in. Everybody, if you are unaware of Rob Kovacs, he is a piano streamer. And, oh, hey, Chris M. Yee, welcome in. And Gibson Lens, hi, Gibson Lens, welcome in. Let me just bring my keyboard back over because that's going to be a lot of shout outs. So, shout out. So yeah, Rob Kovacs plays piano, VGM. He does a great job. We have a lot of fun in his stream. And actually, if you watch the first VOD, he actually had a. He has this running joke that I ended up showing a trick to Gibson Lens and Chris M. Yee for my first stream, and I think they got a kick out of it. So let's see. Gibson Lens, also a piano streamer, and he is a great, excellent piano player, has a lot of originals. I bother him all the time by requesting songs that he hasn't played in a while. And then Chris M. Yee, he's got his own Clip ME show he does weekly, also plays Fall Guys, also plays like other community games as well. So shout outs to Chris ME. And then hi, welcome in Panda Volta. Welcome. So let's see. For those of you who are unaware, I'm Nam, also known as Crazy Asian, also pronounceable as Crazy Asian, also acceptable. And anybody who wants to check out my trick list, so what I've done is I've co-opted the StreamerSonglist, and you can totally request whatever tricks you would like. I understand that a lot of people who are new to magic may not be aware of what tricks are called. So in that case, you can just do !random to put a random trick into the list. But if you want to peruse, it's not actually !SL, it's !TL for trick list. So if anybody wants to take a gander. Also, as from last stream, I guess the only people who would know about that is anybody who watched it, and also Gibson Lens and Chris M. Yee who were there. I did add a magician's choice. So anybody who wants to just put one in, I can just go ahead and choose one. And then also, if anybody wants to see me solve a Rubik's Cube, I put one in that has the not magic tag. So if you want to see me do that, it's not magic. But other than that, yeah. And Gibson knows about Magic the Gathering, and he had me perform a trick last time using magic cards. So magic with magic. All right. So anyway, let's kick things off. First things first, I'm just going to go ahead and just add a... Oh, Rob beat me to it. There's already something in the queue, so we're going to have to do that instead. So Chris ME, to answer your question, that trick is called Play It Straight, and I did add that to the list. So if you would like to go ahead and add that, that would be fine. I will. The one thing about having these tricks is that I'm going to have to set up the trick while I am on camera. So hopefully you guys have some fun topics to talk about, because we'll have to kill some time here. But anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is having a glorious evening. Hey, welcome in, Aaron Schiff. Welcome. Okay. All right. So, awesome. Emotes are working as well. Let's see. So this trick is requested by Rob Kovacs. He has requested Birds of a Feather. First things first, we have these 4 jacks. And what we're going to be doing with these 4 jacks is we're going to be doing something kind of interesting. So first things first, we are going to need to just tuck these jacks face down. I probably should have introduced them. Hopefully everybody knows what all the suits are. So the 2 black suits are the spades and the clubs. The 2 red suits are the hearts and the diamonds. But that is basically the situation that we're in right now. But anyway, so what we have here is the jacks. And now if you were here, Rob, I would actually ask you to cut the deck into like 3/4 and then take 2/3 of this and then half of that. So as I do each cut, you just let me know if you want me to cut more or less. So here's the first cut. Would you like me to cut more or less? Or if it's good, that's okay. We move to the next one. One more? Okay. So one more like so. All right. Okay. Next one. Is that good? More or less? That's good? Okay. All right. Third one. This should be about half. Is that good? Okay. I trust you. You know, a lot of people say that magicians, some of the most honest people in the world, because at the end of the day, when you are going to be fooled by a magician, you know that you are going to get fooled. So, all right, let's see. First things first, what we have here are the 4 jacks. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to mark each one of these spaces with a jack. So first things first, let's go ahead and mark. And I've already messed this up. So I have this new command. It's called mulligan. We're going to do this again. Mulligan. Ha! So the one thing about risking doing things on a live stream, especially, so full disclosure, I haven't immediately practiced all of these tricks like right before stream because there's just too many. The one thing that I wanted to do with this as well is that, I wanted to get extra magic practice in. So you're going to have to give me, I don't know, 30 seconds, and then hopefully we will be back to normal, and we can start over. Okay. All right. Okay. And this time I can actually introduce the jacks properly. So, all right, first things first, we have the 4 jacks. We've got the jack of clubs. We've got the jack of hearts. We've got the jack of spades. And we have the jack of diamonds. So we've got all the jacks here. And once again, we'll have Rob go ahead and cut. And we'll just pretend that this is where he had said he wanted to cut. All right. Thank you for the follow, Aaron Schiff. Welcome in, DTS 4000. And okay, now, the thing with all of these is that you could have cut to any of these positions. We just want to mark each one of these positions with a different jack. So what we've got here is the jack. So that we got a jack there. And then for this, we've got a jack here. And then for this, we've got a jack there. And then for this one, we've got a jack here. Okay, so now we've marked where you've cut with each one of the jacks. Now, what I'm going to do is, if you've ever seen the horns, these horns are very powerful, because what's going to happen is I'm actually going to make all the jacks jump from all of these piles into this one by using the horns. The horns are conductive, see, look. So look, I'm going to make the jack move from here down here. And then I'm going to do it again with this one, from here to there. And then I'm going to make this one from here to there. Okay. Now, would you believe that all 4 jacks are here? 1's in the chat if you believe, 2's in the chat if you don't. For lack of a poll, I can't make polls yet. Chris M.E., thanks for being a believer. I totally feel it. 2s! Rob Kovacs! All right, Rob, I'm going to have to prove it to you. Ready? Watch. All the jacks. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's all 4 jacks. But here's the thing. I don't know if you realized you had decided where to cut, quote unquote. I know I did, but for the purposes of the trick, you could have, and you'd cut to each one of these places. What are the odds that you cut to anything resembling, like, you know, a straight, or like a flush, or like the same suit, or, you know, God forbid it was something bigger, like, you know, 4 of a kind. And you had decided where to cut. And that is my handling and performance of Birds of a Feather. Dies from math. Rob Kovacs, 0%. Ye have little faith. Ye have little faith. Not Chris M. Ye have little faith. Ye as in ye old Middle English. Ye. Chris M. Ye says, I've been referred to as the ye of little faith before, believe it or not. All right. So now that we've got a few other people here, let's see. For anybody who is interested in the trick list, you can do !TL, and that'll basically bring up a StreamerSonglist that I've co-opted to show magic tricks. So feel free to take a browse. If you don't know what magic tricks are named, which one of the things that I wanted to solve with this was that sometimes you see a card trick and you don't know what it's called. And a lot of times there are creative people who put their time and effort into creating these tricks. And some of these are like historical magicians. And they don't really go appreciated by most people. So unless you're a magician, you won't know a lot of these names. So that's another thing that I wanted to solve. So between getting people to recognize the name of tricks, getting people to recognize names of famous magicians that have put in a lot of work and things like that. So, yeah, otherwise you can use !random to go ahead and request something, and that'll put in the queue. Please note there is one thing that is not magic, so if you want to do that, feel free. If not, you know, avoid it. Okay, so the next trick that is cued is called aria. And it does use the 4 aces, so this transition worked out well here. The one risk about not actually the queue is currently full. Is that a thing? Is that a limitation on my side? Do I need to fix something? Settings. Alright, while I try and do this, man, I lost my train of thought. What the heck was I saying? I was saying something about magicians going, oh yeah, the thing about actually having a planned set list for magic tricks is that you can have the tricks flow into one another. Doing it request-wise like this, can't easily do it, so. Let me see. How would I go into the queue? Oh, okay, here we go. Requests are active. Max. Oh, max songs in queue. All right. Well, let's change that. I'm going to hit. Oh, is there no save? Okay, settings saved. All right. Try and add it now. So the max songs in queue was set to 1. So I guess I don't know how I got to. I guess because I am the one who is the mod for my queue. I was able to add it after Rob added his, but all right, it works. Yeah. All right, sweet. Okay, but let's see who requested. Let's see here. Play it straight. Okay. All right. Yeah, give that a look, and then let me go ahead and partially prep the next trick as well. Play it straight. Oh, brainwave. Excellent. I'm glad somebody requested brainwave because that is actually easier. There's very little setup for that. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a glorious hump day. Wednesday is known as hump day because it's in the middle of the week, unless it's a different kind of camel, in which case there are 2 humps during the week. So, different. Thanks, DTS. We are on the same brainwave. Crazy. Okay. All right, so the trick aria, we can have a shuffle deck. This can be an impromptu trick. Anytime I use the word impromptu, and you might see the impromptu label on my song list, that basically means you can do the trick from a borrowed deck of cards. So it can just be a regular deck of cards. So long as it's usually like complete, it's not a big deal. So, okay, so for this trick, we do need to start out with each of the aces. I will leave each of the aces face up on the table. And for each of these tricks, what we are going to do is we are going to place 3 additional cards on each of them. Okay, so for this first pile, I'll be placing these 3 cards. And then for this next pile, I'll be placing these 3 cards. Then for this pile, I'll be placing these 3 cards. And then for this one, I'll be placing these 3 cards. Okay, now what we're going to be doing is I'm going to go ahead and grab each of the piles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stick the ace into that pile. And then I'm going to stick that whole pile into the middle of the deck, like so. All right, let's see here. Rob Kovacs says, cool, got him memorized. All right. A lot of people don't realize that it's not called a photographic memory. It's called an eidetic memory. So we've got these cards. We're going to stick the ace in there. Stick those into the middle as well. Okay, excellent. All right, now we've got these. Let's go ahead and stick this ace in there. Stick that into the middle, but like kind of closer to the bottom. And then finally, we've got these. And what we're going to do with this is just simply do a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. And believe it or not, all the aces have hopped back up to the top of the deck. And that is Aria. All right, let me go ahead and chat. Let me catch up and chat for a second. Let's see. Pandavolta, the use of this song list for trick list is just top tier. Thank you kindly, Pandavolta. It comes a lot coming from someone who manages a streamer song list a lot. Let's see, Gibson Lens. Queue is currently full. We dealt with that. Queue is DTS 4000. The queue is the trick. Bravo. Thanks. I did get some help from Taladar, so thanks, Taladar. Let's see. Oh, Bert added play it straight. Ha ha ha. Awesome. What was the name of the trick? Oh yeah, we did deal with that. We're on the same brainwave. Okay, excellent. Great. Is it? Scary. All right. Let's see. Rob Kovacs, you son of a bee. All right. I'm going to let you know right now that it's pretty late, and I don't know if I'm guaranteeing that my stream is safe for children. So if you say bitch, I'm okay with it. Also, there's no mods here yet, so I'm literally the only person. So if I said it's okay, it's probably fine. Let's see. It called to me like a siren. Scary. Wait, is it? Well done. Thank you kindly, Rob Kovacs. And let's see. DTS 4000. Are there stories to how these tricks are named? I will say that if there are, I don't know the names of most. I don't know the stories for most of them. There are some tricks in which it's very clear. A lot of those tend to be newer tricks done by more modern creators because, you know, like, for example, if there's a Tinder trick in which you slide cards left or slide cards right, that's probably a lot easier to tell the origin story of why it's named the Tinder trick versus, like, you know, why is this particular trick named Aria? I don't know. I have no idea on this one. Let's see. Bold move to have so many mods in chat with no mods. We're the worst. Says Panda Volta. DTS 4000. Chaos reigns. Rob Kovacs Panda. All right. No mods. Yeah, I mean, if I ever got to that point where it was like pretty crazy, I don't know. I'd probably, first of all, be very happy because that means there's a lot of random things happening in stream. I did not expect to get big at all overnight, but this is actually the first stream in which I feel I kind of publicized. So like I told a bunch of people that I was going live. So last time I just posted it in like literally 3 channels. So all right. Hey, welcome in, Turco Machine. Welcome. Turco Machine, also a music streamer. I think I have to come up with a better solution to have my keyboard. As it turns out, that was... I did not do that correctly. There we go. Much better. Welcome in. Turco Machine, if you didn't know. Hi, my name is Nam. I'm also known as Crazy Asian on Twitch. Also, you can pronounce it Crazy Asian if you would like. And I am a sleight of hand magician. So I am an enthusiast. I've only been doing magic since the beginning of 2019. So it's only been a few years. But I am... currently trying to stream for the first time, so this is my second stream ever, and I've co-opted this streamer song list so that people can request tricks using the streamer song list. And if you need to see the song list, it's not !SL, it's !TL for trick list. So let's see here. We have a trick that we now need to do for Gibson lens. And this is called Play It Straight Triumph. Let's see. Now, the thing with this is that I'm not going to be using a regular deck of cards. I can use a regular deck of cards, but we can make this fun and do something a little bit different with it. One's in chat if you're a mod somewhere. I guess I can put one now officially. Hello, welcome in, Sumiways. Sumiwaya. Let me know if I pronounced that correctly. Okay, first things first. We have Gibson. You're the one who selected this trick, or sorry, requested this trick. So let's have you be our. I don't want to call it a stooge, but in actual Magic performances, we call this a spectator. So let's go ahead and. First things first, let's give this a shot. So this is a deck of cards that has a bunch of letters on it. So these are letters of the alphabet in English. They are made by a magician named DMC, who is British. And that is basically where these cards come from. The justification for why he has created this deck of cards is that as younger generations, they have less of a tendency to have played card games before, so they may not know what the suits are. So he created this deck because it's a way in which he can use a bunch of cards to make an impact on someone that may not be familiar with cards. But anyway, so Gibson lens, if there's a choice, I will have you make the choice, okay? So let me go ahead and just stop somewhere in here. And let's go ahead and spread out some cards. Okay, so let's label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10? Okay, 10. Why don't you choose a number between 1 and 10, Gibson lens, and that will be your selection, 1 to 10. Yeah, I counted correctly. Unfocused in IA. Welcome to my stream. Thank you for the raid. Oh my God! Holy crap! Hello everybody. My name is Nam. I'm known as Crazy Asian on Twitch, and I am an enthusiast of sleight of hand magic. So I don't really do music because I can't really play any musical instruments. But I've co-opted the StreamerSonglist for people to be able to request magic tricks. So, hi Nalani, how's it going? If you would like to request a trick, I'll do trick priority requests. If you don't know what to request, you can do !random, and I'll add one, and I'll do that after we finish up the trick that we're currently in the middle of. And anybody else who would like to look at my streamer song list, it's not !SL, it's !TL for trick list. So thank you for all the follows, everybody. Let me finish the trick, and I'll say thank you to everybody who's following. So, all right, Gibson, I don't know if you chose a number, but if you did, if you could just tell me again. Oh, Gibson, you chose 8. All right, excellent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one, correct? 2, 4, 8. Okay, so that will be your selection. So we're going to go ahead and leave that off to the side. Now we need to break up the rest of the deck into 4 different piles. They don't have to be absolutely perfect, but we're now going to be doing something a little bit strange. We're going to turn over a couple piles, and what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle face up into face down cards. Also, to explain to everybody what the heck is going on here, we're not using a traditional deck of cards at the moment. We're using a deck of cards that has the letters. If you see the words yes and no, they're actually 2 jokers. So that's what the yes and no are. But anyway, this is going to pain me more than it pains some of you, even if you have like OCD tendencies, because these are really going to get pushed into each other at the moment. So, okay, all right, now we're going to do it again. And again. All right. Now, the excellent part about this trick is that, oh, crap, I don't know if I just messed up. Hey, Gibson, we're going to do this a little bit differently, although to you, I think you probably understand how this pans out. But anyway, so we have some face-up cards, face-down cards, but you know what? I'm going to find a way for you to figure out what this card is. Okay? All right, sounds fair? All right, so first things first, let me go ahead and just spread, because, actually, wait. Let me go ahead and do the magic first. I'm going to go ahead and place the deck in my hand shadow. And actually, the shadow is going to be doing all of the work right now to make this an impressive magic trick. Okay, all right, the shadow is done. The shadow is now complete. That was a joke from a stream that I was in earlier. Anyway, let me go ahead and spread and then see what happens. Okay, this may not be the best. You probably can't see the letters that are face up, but let me go ahead and just start to pull some of these out here. So that one is that letter. This one is this letter. This one is this letter. This one is this letter. See, this one is this letter. Let me just slide some of these around so we have some extra space. And then let's see. Gibson Lens, do these letters mean anything to you at the moment? How about this? Does that mean anything? How about this? What about this? Or how about this? Okay, hold on. All right, Gibson Lens, is there a guess as to what letter this is? Anybody else in chat? You have any ideas? Turco Machine says Gibson. All right. So if you have already guessed it, this is actually the letter P. So this actually is Gibson Lens. And you selected the card, and I did all of that shuffling in face up into face down cards. The rest of these letters are different, so there we are. So anyway, all right, let's go back to let me say some thank yous here. So Unfocused IA, Nalani, thank you for the raid. Avo the Crafty Art Hole, thank you for following. Vinalia, thanks for following. Lynn J, thanks for following. Jesus or Jesus, oh no, Jesus Yuki. Let me know if there's a better way to pronounce. I'm sorry, I apologize. Let's see, Mitch Simi, Dime Package, Nervous Harpist, Schmitty's Forge, and Orchestra Music. Thanks for following. Let's see here. So let's also do a shout out for Unfocused in IA. All right. So Nalani is a variety streamer. She does a bunch of things, including like music and art and stream raiders. So she's great. I've had a lot of fun over there, so definitely recommend. And then also Orchestra Music. Hi Manny, how's it going? I don't know if you know me that well. I've chatted a little bit in your streams, but I've definitely enjoyed listening to your music. But yeah, Orchestra Music plays music, and I enjoy his music. So let's see, shout out Orchestra. I can't spell today. All right. Who is? Oh, is that somebody's way of saying that I should shout out Aaron? Who is Aaron? Magic shout out to Aaron Schiff. They were last seen streaming Heroes of Hammerwatch. Okay, I've heard of that game. I've never played it. So, Okay, let me catch up in chat for a moment. Time for a card trick medley. Thank you. Hello. Hello, Nervous Harpist. Finalia. OMG, I love Sleight of Hand magic. I'm so glad I ended up here. How fun. Well, thank you. I'm glad you are here. Jesuana Yuki, I'm here for the magics. You're in the right place. Rob Kovacs asks, is this your first raid? Yes, this is the first raid that has come to my channel. I technically raided out for last time. So, yeah. So, Nalani, thank you for the first raid. You get the trophy that now nobody can ever take away from you. And let's see. Aaron Schiff says, Chris M.E. says, what the heck? Unfocused and IA says, what? Gibson Lens, the letters look familiar. Turco Mission, wow. Let's see. First time chat from Dudeman. Hi, Dudeman, or Dudeman. And then we've got some more wows. Thank you for the wows. Thank you for the claps. Thank you for the applause, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed. Wow, there's so many like prominent music streamers in chat right now. So I'm actually humbled. Thanks for coming, everybody. I totally did not expect this. So welcome everybody. Okay, and that was a trick called Play It Straight Triumph by John Bannon. Normally done with a regular deck of cards. I was able to adapt it to do, basically what you saw me do. Thank you kindly for the request, Gibson Lens. All right. Next, we have, let's see, Unfocused and IA. Did you want to request anything? Thanks for the follow, dude, man. Okay, we have a trick requested by DTS 4000. And we are going to need a DTS 4000. Hey, DTS, you're still in chat, right? And if not, we will find somebody to be your proxy for the trick. Okay. All right. Okay, first things first, we have 8 cards here. This is why it's called 8-card brainwave. Feel free to verify me on this. 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 8 cards. DTS 4000. I just want you to take a look at these cards for a moment. I don't want you to allow me to affect any decisions that you would make. But I'm not going to lie. The manipulation may or may not have begun already. All right, now what we're going to be doing here is I would like you to just mentally select one of these cards. Now, whatever that card you selected, if I could predict it, it would have been your first choice. Don't pick that card as your actual choice. Pick another card. And then once you have your choice, go ahead and let me know which one you have selected, and I will prove to you that I knew all along that that's what you would select. So DTS 4000, you can type it out if you just want to type out a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Otherwise, you could just say, 4 of hearts, or sorry, 4 of diamonds. Jack of spades, 9 of diamonds, 2 of spades. All right, everybody. Do you believe, all right, 1's in chat if you believe that I have manipulated DTS 4000. 2's in chat if there was no manipulation. All right, DTS has chosen 9, which is out of the realm, unless he's actually saying 9 of diamonds. Confirm DTS 4000, you wanted to select the 9 as your actual selection. Hello, welcome in, EB Lounge. Okay, so I'm going to assume DTS 4000 that you have selected the 9. This is your official choice. Last chance to change your mind. 9 of diamonds, you got it. Okay, so here we go, 9 of diamonds. First things first, we'll leave that off to the side for just 1 second. And I just want to show you that we've got a ton of cards here that are all blue-backed cards. However, the 9 of diamonds happens to be, drum roll please, a red-backed card. And that is the 8-card brainwave. Thank you for the request, DTS. All right, let's see. Let me catch up with some things here. Let me say thank you to Not Tim. Thanks for the follow. And then let me catch up in chat here. Let's see here. Magical. Nervous Harpist. This is my first Magic stream. Well, Nervous Harpist, this is actually my second stream ever, and is also a Magic stream, so we're kind of in a similar boat. But thanks for being excited. Let's see. And let's see. Same here. Never seen magic tricks on stream before. Yeah, Manny, I've done some research, and there's very few people that do magic tricks on live stream. And if they do, it's definitely not going to be in this format where people can request tricks, because when people plan a magic show, they can have tricks go from one trick into the next more seamlessly, and they can plan it out to do certain things. The fact that I can have any of my tricks from my trick list come up, I have to be A, be ready for that, and B, I can't prep. So the other risk is if I actually mess up on stream, I really mess up, and actually you might be able to determine how I do the trick, or at least find out something about it if I mess up. So let's see here. Rob asks, can you do sleight of hand magic with sleight of hand magic card? I mean, if you mean magic cards, I have done that. I'm probably not going to do it tonight. There's like a big audience. I don't want to like get up, go over there. But if anybody wants to check out my YouTube channel, I have a lot of magic tricks that I've done with regular cards. And I even have magic tricks that I've done with card games and board games. So if anybody wants to check out my YouTube channel, oh, I hope I typed that in correctly. YouTube. All right, good. Let's see here. Otherwise, 8 cards. All right, next, EB Lounge, you get a shout out because you are here. Also, if there's any other streamers that I may not be familiar with, so full disclosure, I was aware of Twitch and have been on Twitch for years, but I didn't really start hanging out in chat rooms until the beginning of 2020. 2022. So the beginning of this year. So everybody who's seen me in chat, it's basically been since January. But I do want to say that, by the way, all of your communities have been great, been warm and welcoming, and have kind of accepted me for. I know I've got weird quirks, but yeah, here we are. So, see, EB Lounge says, "What?" Rob Kovac says, "GTFO." Jeswan Yuki says, head explodes. Thanks for the claps. Thanks for the hype. Let's see. Tricks looking in. EB Lounge says, he has gremlins helping under the table. I saw one. I will neither confirm nor deny. TTS says, ooh. Let's see. Unfocused Naya says, you're awesome. Okay, you can call me Jess. Thank you, Jess. Much love right back to you. Thanks for sharing these awesome tricks with us. All right, great. Excellent. So I'm glad everybody's having a good time. Let's go ahead and proceed. We do have some tricks that are here. So let's see. We've got, what, Chris M. Yee requesting the Chicago opener, huh? Okay, let me make sure I don't mix up some cards here, because when you're a magician and you have 50 bajillion cards all over the place, it's easy to mix up some cards. And let's see. Let's see. Great stuff. Now I've got to head out, but it was great. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. Nalani made a selection. Oh, Nalani has made a selection. Actually, I apologize. Let me go ahead and move that. Ah, okay, much better. I'm so sorry. See, second stream ever. And I have no mods, so you're gonna have to. Even though there's like 50 bajillion mods in chat right now, but so let's start with that. Okay, this trick will use the 4 aces and oh, may I ask, Unfocused in IA, did you select this trick because of the name? Was it because it had the word jazz in it? I'm just curious. Yes, all right, as suspected. Okay. All right, I'm going to be using the 4 aces and the 4 eights for this trick. These are normal 8s and aces, and the only reason why I say this is it can get really confusing because sometimes 8 sounds like ace, so you're welcome. But anyway, aces and 8s, yes, correct. So this is going to be called jazz aces. So what we're going to do is first explain what an ace assembly is. So an ace assembly trick, if you hear the card plot ace assembly, usually we place all of the aces out, and we're going to try and collect all the aces in the same place, right? So that's basically the premise of this trick. So what I'm going to do is place all of the aces out here, like so. And then what we are going to have is the, let me make sure, the ace of spades. This is going to be the leader ace. So this is the ace in which all of these will collect here. So what we're going to do is first show you that we're just going to place any old 8 here. Yep, so we've got some just regular 8s. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this first ace and we are going to go ahead and place it. Actually, wait. Quick peek, because I am unpracticed. We're going to take this ace. It's just a matter of left and right. I'm going to go ahead and grab this ace and place it into the packet. And then snap my fingers, and believe it or not, that ace has jumped here. Yes? No? Okay. All right. Because what I can show you is, if I just show you these here, this is an 8, that's an 8, this is an 8, and this is an 8, because that ace has hopped down here. Now, next ace, before we do that, let's go ahead and just place any old 8 down next to these aces. And what we're going to do now is just, quickly show you that there's no aces here. We're going to go ahead and place this ace here. I'm to do this magical gesture. It's called snapping. And believe it or not, during that snap, the ace actually walked out of the deck and actually just started walking with its legs and then laid down here. And then the spirit of the 8 hopped back over here. Because, look, actually, let me just show you these cards first. Because there's an 8 there, there's an 8 there, there's an 8 there, and there's an 8 here. Because the ace is now down here. And now, what we've got here, let's go ahead and show you that that's an 8. Place it down here. The last ace, right? Go ahead and just place it into the mix. Snap my fingers, and believe it or not, that ace, once again, slowly walked out of the deck, exchanged spirits with this one, and the last ace is here. And all of these are all 8s. And that is my handling and performance of Jazz Aces. All right, let's see. Let me catch up in chat. All right, Nervous Harp, thank you for coming, and have a good night. But hopefully you enjoyed while you were here, so thank you. Let's see. Unfocused Nae, hopefully you enjoyed it. How was that? If you were baffled, put a 1 in chat. If you were not baffled, put a 2. And then I'll make you exchange magician notes with me if you put it 2. All right, let's see. Let me catch up for a minute. Let's see. Dude Man says, that's a lot of cards. Let's see. EV Lounge says, hi, you're doing great. Let's see. Unfocused says, it's all good, Chris. I'm vibing. Let's see. I did prio it correctly-ish now this time, so it's okay. Chris ME, has the trick already begun? Jazz. Aces and 8s, yes. All right. Manny, enjoy the lurk. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully you can still enjoy. Unfocused. Nice. I have no idea. Haha. My mind is boggled. You're welcome, or I'm sorry. It depends on how you like your mind. Thanks for the claps, everybody. Thanks for clapping. Unfocused, Chris M. Yee, Jess, Vinalia, Dude Man, DTS. And thank you for the follow, Iron for Feeder. Iron for Feeder is also a piano streamer. Streams from his home in Vietnam. Iron for Feeder. Shout out. Okay. I believe that's correct. Iron for Feeder, thank you for the follow. Wait, Dude Man, you put 1, 2. Are you slightly familiar with some sleight of hand? Jess, 1 and shook. Well, don't lose too much sleep. I will let everybody know I have not signed any deals with the devil, and it's not like real Harry Potter magic. This is all sleight of hand. Alright, so that was Jazz Aces by Peter Kane. Okay, next, let's see. We have Chicago Opener, aka Red Hot Mama, and we've got it for Chris M.E. I don't know. Aces and 8s, Dead Man's Hand, no deals that we know of. Okay. Oh, actually, wait. Let me double check. I don't think this trick uses any jokers. That would just be lame. Okay. Legitimately removing jokers. All right, Chris M.E., are you still in chat? Because we're going to need you to make some decisions in a moment. All right. So, Chris M.E., excellent. You are still here. First things first. I'll give this another shuffle just in case anybody believes that there's any sort of ridiculosity going on. Yes, ridiculosity is a word. English is a living language, and so on. So, okay. This is closer to a more traditional magic trick in which we'll need a selection. So, I'm just gonna fan this out, and all right, Chris, why don't you go ahead and just say stop as I slowly bring my hand over a chunk of cards, and then we'll have it we'll have a breakdown, and you can just choose one of those. I'll see it when I see it in chat. Go ahead. Okay, stop. All right, so here's a hefty chunk of cards. So that's when I saw it. There's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 cards here. So 1 through 13. Go ahead and choose any of those cards. Ten. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It would be this one. Would you like to change your mind? Nope. Okay, so you're sticking with 10. Now, it doesn't actually matter that I know what this is, but in order for us to actually have a verification, why don't we go ahead and just take a look at it? So I'll show everybody right now. It is the King of Spades. So what we've got here is the King of Spades. We are going to go ahead and lose the King of Spades into the deck, like so. Now, as some magicians might tell you, if there was going to be any sort of manipulation, if I did some shuffles, if I did some cuts, I could do that. But I'm going to go ahead and square up the deck right now. And so I'm not holding any breaks. A break is basically something in which a magician would say, I'm holding the gap open with like a finger or something in there. So I'm not holding any breaks. I could just rotate this around. What I'm going to do is something a little bit more magical. What we're going to do is, once again, I'm going to put my hand over the deck, cast that shadow, and do some magical work. And believe it or not, something magical is going to happen to your card, Chris. Do you remember what it is? Do you see something a little bit strange with one of the cards? It's King of Spades, right? So, here's the thing. This is going to be your card, the King of Spades. Is that strange or what? Now, we can do this trick again. There's just, so I'll just leave that off to the side for a second. And what we can do is, once again, we can go ahead and have you just stop somewhere. But well, this one will just be quicker. So go ahead and say stop. Stop. Okay. Would you like this card, the one before it, or the one after it? So the one we stopped on, before or after? That one works. Okay, great. This one. Now, I'm going to show the camera. I will actually look away for this. So I'm going to close my eyes, showing the camera the card. I'm going to close it up, and I'm going to look back. And I'm going to lose that card now in the middle of the deck. Okay. Okay, all right. So now, what we've got here is you have a selection. I don't know what it is, and we're going to try and turn it blue again. Let me go ahead and, once again, take my hand, cover it with the shadow, do some magical work, and let me go ahead and spread. Okay, I don't see any blue cards here. Wait. Can I get the whole collective chat to go ahead and send some magical powers? Put ones in chat if you want to send your magical power. And if you don't put it, I assume you just want to keep it for your greedy selves. So. Okay, we've got some magical power from DTS, from Chris, from Dude Man. Unfocus sends 4 ones. That is a lot of powerful magic right there. Okay, let me spread again. Is that enough? You know, I don't see it, but you know what? We do have a blue card. It is right here. And Jess also sends her 1. What was your card, Chris M.Yi, if I may ask? Before, this was the King of Spades, right? But what is it now? What could it be now? What was your card, Chris M.E.? That was your card. What was your second card? 10 of Spades? Let me show you that this is the 10 of Spades. And that is the Chicago opener, also known as Red Hot Mama. Chris M.U. says, what? Unfocused Naya says, what? Finalia says, whoa! Sorry if my voice is way deeper than any of your voices, but I'm just trying to get the excitement in there. So thanks for the claps, Gibson Lens, Chris M.E., Vinalia, Unfocused, and IA. And for the record, if anybody had wanted, if you were physically here, you can go ahead and inspect this card and these cards. So fully inspectable. Vinalia, it is a pitch deeper, but I appreciate the voiceover dub. You're welcome. Let's see, Jess says, my brain is trying to process, but is shook right now. Lol. All right, let's see. So that was the Chicago opener, Red Hot Mama. Oh, Jess, you've chosen one, and I'm very rusty on this one. Let me see if I can remember. I hope I can remember. I don't want to disappoint. My second stream ever. I'll say right now, if I can't do this one successfully, there's a backup one that it's similar to that I can do instead. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? Is everybody feeling hyped, amped? Because I am, even though it's kind of late. I am on the U.S. East Coast. Where is everybody else at? Thanks for the hype, TTS. Let's see. We've got California. We've got Central Time. So we've got East Coast. We've got West Coast. We've got Central. Midwest gang. Awesome. East Coast there as well. Cool. Yeah, I mean, VODs are up for a couple weeks at least, so. All right, so the next trick is called Too Many Cards by Derek Dingle. And if that's not a funny creator name, he's a funny magician, but this was requested by Jess, so. All right, here we go. First things first, we have a packet of 5 cards. We've got an ace, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 of clubs. Okay, so what we have here is a set of cards. Now, oh, actually, I needed to leave it in that order. Ha ha ha. Okay. So what we've got here is a 1, 2, 3, ace, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of clubs. Now, what we are going to do here is show you. Hey, prepaid Obsidian, thanks for the follow. We have the ace. What we're going to do is we're going to place it into the packet. It's not going to be on top. It's clearly not on top. But look, if I go ahead and I snap my fingers, believe it or not, the ace is actually going to hop up to the top. Now look, if I go ahead and I take it and I place it once again, not on the top, snap my fingers, believe it or not, that's actually going to make the ace also hop back up to the top. Now you're probably wondering how I can do this, and a lot of people do ask that. However, let me just say, there's just too many cards. I have 5 cards in my hand. You only have 2 eyes, so we just have too many cards. Let me just go ahead and take one of the cards out. Once again, I have a 2, and I'm going to go ahead and put that 2 not on the top. And now I'm going to flip over the top card because it's still the 2, because I made it hop up to the top. Once again, take the 2, place it not in the top. And now, believe it or not, snap my fingers, the 2 is actually going to hop back up to the top. I know what you're thinking. How are you doing this? Well, let me tell you. Oh, Prepaid Obsidian has got it. We have too many cards. Let me just go ahead and take this out. Let's see, first time chat. Hell yeah, love you're using StreamerSonglist bot. Cool tricks. Awesome. Okay, here's what we're going to do next. You're probably thinking, okay, he can just repeat this. And the short answer is yes. So let me break it up. Let me do something a little bit different with this. Okay, so let me just pan out these cards here. I'm going to go ahead and take the 3, and I'm going to stick it in between the 4 and the 5. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is snap my fingers, and you know, it's not going to make it jump up to the top. You can tell that the top is still the 5. But actually what it's going to do instead is it's actually going to make... I have completely messed this trick up. So you've now seen a card that you were not supposed to do. So what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and say I'm not going to finish this trick, but as redemption for next time, I was thinking about this idea. What I would love to do... Oh yeah, by the 3 is gone. But anyway, what I would love to do is have something cool, and let me know if this is a cool idea. If I mess up a trick on one stream, the next stream, if somebody requests this exact trick, that could be like my boss trick. So basically I have in between streams to get it right and then perform it the next time. And once I get like cool redeems and stuff, if I become an affiliate or whatever, down the road, maybe I could do something cool with that. But anyway, that's my idea. So I've messed this up, but yeah, the 3 is gone, so there's only 5 cards here. But I did not get to finish the trick that way. So the boss trick for next time will be too many cards. However, I'm going to do another trick that is very similar to that, and this will be my makeup trick for Jess. So Jess, you have found a boss this time. So this trick, it does use the same 5 cards: ace, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, we did find this again. It rematerialized over here off camera. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's a secret. Sorry, Japanese. Himitsu. I don't even know if that's correct. I don't even know Japanese words. I know, like, you know, konnichiwa, watashi wa nam desu. Sorry, crazy Asian desu. All right, so this trick, I will go ahead and, oh, hold on. Let me go ahead and add it because it is a separate ace on top. Let's see, ace on top. Okay, there we go. All right, let's do that. So the trick I'm going to replace it with is ace on top, and you're actually going to see that it starts off very similarly to too many cards, but okay, here we go. Ace on top, makeup trick for Jess. So we have the ace of clubs, the 2 of clubs, the 3 of clubs, the 4 of clubs, and the 5 of clubs. Now, the reason why this is called ace on top, and it's not because this is a trick called ace on top. What this is actually more of a game. So Jess, we're going to have you play this game with us, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and show you that I'm going to be doing a magical move in a second. Ready? Watch. Here's the magical move. Okay, did you see the magical move? Now, important question, what card is on top? A lot of people would say the 5. I can see Jess is very hesitant. All right, anybody else have any guesses as to what card's on top? All right, I'm gonna give you a hint. It's actually the ace. The ace is on top. Yep. So I'm gonna take the ace out of contention. So now the rest of this trick, if you know how to count, which I would hope all of you know how to count, we will go in ascending sequence. So after the ace follows the 2. And after the 2 follows the 3. And then after the 3 is the 4 and the 5. All right, got it? Now, quick question. What card was this again? This one. Now, a lot of people would say a 5. Some people would say 4 because technically I didn't show you either of the last 2 cards. It's a trap, isn't it? Yeah, Vinalia's on the correct track because unfocused Knight A, ace. Jess says ace because it is indeed the ace. And now, the ace is followed by the what? The 2. And the 2 is followed by the what? The 3. And the 3 is followed by the 4. And the 4 is followed by the 5. Chris M. says, excuse me? You're excused. Vinalia says, wait! Alright, here we go. What card is this? FYI, I did not do any magical trickery here. This is as you think it is. Dude Man says, knee bone. Crap. Alright, Unfocused says, I now must go to sleep, but I will never sleep again because of this. Unfocused! I don't want you to lose sleep over this. This is Sleight of Hand. I am fooling you. But have a good night. Alright, this is the ace. I wasn't trying to hide this time. This is definitely the ace. So, but here's the thing. Like in the other trick, like in Too Many Cards, I'm going to go ahead and place this not in the top. Okay, as you can see, it is definitely going into the packet. It's not on the top. But let me go ahead and snap my fingers. Believe it or not, that's actually going to bring the ace back up to the top. And now, this is where we are now going to go ahead and take this. Oh yeah, it's not over yet. We're only just beginning. I'm now going to place this. Actually, here, I'm going to show you. We're going to take this and we're actually going to place it in the middle. It's clearly going in the middle. Okay, and now if I snap my fingers, what card's on top? If you said the ace, you'd be correct. Now, if I take the ace out of play, what card follows the ace? If you said the 2, you'd be correct, because here it is. Now, if I take the 2 and I place it furthest away from where it's supposed to be, let's say I place it here on the bottom. Alright. If I go ahead and snap my fingers, what follows the ace? If you said the 2, it's the 2, correct. Now, with these 3 cards, we have, would you believe that I could perform this trick with the cards face up? Prepaid Obsidian. My eyes have deceived me yet again. Focus says, my brain. Vinalia says, do it. All right. So, if anybody wants to just take a look at the sequence of cards here. Okay. In order for me to do this, in order for this stack to self-correct, the 3 has to slide into the middle here. The 2's got to jump all the way up here. The ace has to jump all the way up to the top. The 5's got to go all the way down to the bottom. And so that's a lot of movement for this to just kind of correct itself, right? But believe it or not, I only need to do one thing. Just one thing. Let me go ahead and just find the ace. All I have to do is take the ace and place it on the top. Now, there's no secret. You can kind of see what's on top. It is the ace. But now if I snap my fingers, would you now believe that this whole stack has self-corrected itself? What card follows the ace? If you said the 2, you're correct. What card follows the 2? The 3. What card follows the 3? The 4. And what card follows the 4? The 5. And there we have ace on top. Vinalia says, I don't believe. Jess says, oh my God. Chris says, 2. Jess says, yes. Chris says, wow, wow, wow. Jess says, 2. Jess says, 4. Anyway, thank you for the claps. Vinalia, Unfocused. Chris M.Ye, thank you very much. Dime Package, hype! Jess says, bravo, bravo. All right. Let's see here. All right, and I believe that clears out the existing trick list. If anybody would like to request another trick, feel free to use !TL to pull up the trick list. If you don't know what to request, feel free to just do !random, and that'll add a random one. So, Unfocused, thank you for the stream. I am going to bed now. Have a great rest of your stream. Good night, everyone. Well, thank you for stopping by, Nalani. Thank you for the raid. Totally appreciate it. Have a glorious evening. I tried to request a random trick, but I'm out of request. Oh man! Okay, so see, this is the thing that I wanted to sort out from the last stream, but I guess we didn't have too many people requesting things. So let me go ahead and up that. I believe that's just a setting. Yeah, let's see. Time. Follower. Okay, let's just go ahead and up this. I don't know. To something gigantic. All right, sweet. Okay, I believe that is no longer limited. Yeah, until if my audience ever gets much bigger, then we can worry about limiting these things. But for right now, I absolutely don't care about how many people. Everybody can just request what they would. Coin Matrix. I wasn't afraid of this, but I had to prepare for this because it doesn't just use cards; it uses coins as well. So, first things first. We are going to be pulling out 4 coins, preferably 4 coins that look the same. If anybody ever wants to learn this trick, I could just use 4 coins that are completely different, and then you'll probably learn how it works. Okay. Okay, I know that the trick list is a little bit in the way of this one. Hopefully that's okay. You could still kind of see through it. It's you can tell that there's a coin there. These coins are fully inspectable. They are regular coins. There's nothing weird about them. And then we will just need 4 cards. So, all right. Let's see. Like how you credit the authors in your request. Oh, yes. So, yeah, one of the things that, if you weren't here earlier, I did mention, a lot of people, when they see a trick, they don't know the name of the trick. And then also, there are people who put their time and effort into creating the tricks or having like a historical legacy about the tricks. And a lot of people who are outside of the magic circles, they don't know any of these names really. So one of the things that I wanted to do was, besides having the ability to request, also bring to light, you know, how much time and effort it takes for magicians to have tricks that become big and everything. So hopefully, if you guys end up coming back again, which I would love to have all of you back here sometime again in the future, you'll start to get to see the names of tricks and start to see like some of the same creator names and stuff like that. And so, hopefully that you know, that achieves at least one of the goals that I wanted to bring. So, okay, so what we have here is 4 cards, 4 coins, and this is a relatively impromptu trick. If I went to somebody's house, they could provide me with 4 coins and 4 cards, and I would be able to do this one. There are variations of the trick in which, you know, you don't do that, but for this particular one, it is legitimately 4 coins, 4 cards. So, so what we are going to do is, if you've never seen coins teleport before, this is basically that. So, first things first, would you believe that I can teleport this coin to this corner? If you don't, you should totally pay attention, because look. And now I'm going to teleport this one up there, because if you don't believe it, take a look. And now for the last one, believe it or not, all the coins are now up here in this corner. And that is the standard coin matrix. And that was a very short one, but it's super visual, so hopefully you enjoyed. Let's see, Chris MU, doing the chat command worked. Awesome. Actually tried Magician's Choice. Oh, did that not work? Okay. We'll have to check that out. Vinalia says, exciting! How so cool! This one did not disappoint, thank you. Chris MU has his emote. Pika! And Jess, thanks for the claps. Yeah, I didn't want every trick on my trick list to be like a slog. Like there's some tricks that take like 4 or 5 minutes, and you can present them like as 4 or 5 minute tricks. And some tricks I did want to be short as well. So let's see. But also, if this piques your interest as far as like sleight of hand magic, also if it gets anybody interested in sleight of hand magic, I'd be more than happy to get people on the ropes. Like when I first started learning in 2019, the only resources that I had were free resources on the internet, and that means the majority of them were basically YouTube tutorials. But most of the tricks that you've seen today, you can probably do with free resources that I've found on YouTube. There's like 1 or 2 where having some other resources helps, but by and large you at least understand how the trick is done and how to perform it. But some people say that magic should not be something that you just tell the secrets to, and I agree with that. But if you don't teach the art of magic to somebody else, the art of magic will die. And so obviously the art of magic is still around because some people are still willing to teach the art of magic. So I'm willing to teach anybody who wants to perform magic, but obviously if you just want to know the secret, I don't want to just teach you that. So all right, let's see. So this next trick is done by someone whom, if you were watching television specials back in the 80s and the 90s, you may have heard the name Max Maven. He's made his name as a mentalist, which is actually a different branch of magic where you are, like I did a mentalist trick earlier with Brainwave, with DTS. So it's basically a branch of magic in which you can use magic to make people believe that you're reading their mind or manipulating them or things like that. But that is that branch of magic. So, however, this is not one of those. This is actually a sleight of hand card trick. So this is called Overture, and this was requested by Dime Package. Thank you for the request. So once again, we have 4 cards. These are normal cards. I could do this with a borrowed deck of cards. And what we are going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and turn 2 of the cards. So let's take the blackjacks and turn them face down. Then I'm going to stick the red 6s in between them, like so. Okay. And if I turn them over, you'll see that there's nothing weird about it. I'm just doing that. Now, if I were to reverse count these cards, the red 6s should still be in between the black jacks, right? But there's this strange thing where if I go ahead and I do something like this, I hold the packet and I give it a little shake, and believe it or not, that shake has changed everything completely. Would you now believe that the red 6s are on the outside face down and the black jacks are in the center face up? 1s if you believe, 2 if you're a non-believer. All right. Dime Package says 1, Chris says 1. All right, excellent. I'm glad you believe, because if I show you, the black jacks are now in the middle, face up, and the red 6s are face down on the outside. And that is Overture. And Dude Man says 1. Thanks for the faith, everybody. Thank you kindly. Let's see. Vanalia says, I've always been so wicked interested, but I have a small child size hands, and I found a lot of issues with it. So now I'm just an appreciator instead of someone who tries it. Excellent. I will have you know that there are tricks that can be done with small hands. I've seen even like kids that are like 7 years old that can do like normal tricks with a regular sized deck of cards. So you might not be able to hide cards so well like this, but other things you can do, you can still do them. So anyway, thank you for the claps, Chris M. Yee. All right, how's everybody doing? Everybody having a good time? All right, while I prep for the next trick, somebody feel free to let me know what, or actually maybe not just somebody, but everybody, because this will take a second to set up. Tell me one or two of your hobbies that you guys enjoy doing. Because I've had an eclectic collection of hobbies in the past. Basically, before Sleight of Hand Magic, I was into lock picking. So I taught myself how to pick locks, also from free YouTube videos. And before that, I was into Rubik's Cubes. I taught myself how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Okay. Oh, dude, man, Rubik's Cubes, lockpicking, programming, mini painting. All right. You and I'd probably get along because we share like most of those. Yeah, so if you didn't know, I'm also a software developer by profession. So programming also in the thing. Nice. I've been wanting to get into lockpicking. All right. Dime package, I'll let you know. It is one of the lowest barriers to entry. And if you live in a state in which it's not illegal to own the tools, you may want to do the research to see if it is legal or not. And if it's not, then you could totally just buy like a set of lockpicks off of like Amazon for like $20. And let's see. But yeah, the legality around lockpicking is a little bit different than the legality of like sleight of hand magic. I guess if I actually cheat, then it becomes a bigger deal using cards. But let's see. Dude, man, chess. Oh, I also enjoy chess. I am not great, but I'd like to think I'm also an enthusiast. But I haven't been playing much lately. So last year, my wife and I had our first child, so I am a new father. So I haven't had too much time. But I'm like, well, I'm passionate about magic, and I want to try streaming. So I'm like, all right, that's gonna take most of the time. I also still maintain my YouTube channel, so that's kind of a thing. DTS lurking to find some food. I don't know anybody who's still alive that doesn't eat. They may exist, I just don't know them. So enjoy the lurk. Yes. Gibson, also a software developer. Yes, all right. Excellent. Code Monkey Gang. My hobbies are video games and cosplay, pretty much. Oh, excellent. Yes, I love video games as well. So I was considering also streaming video games, but everybody under the sun streams video games on Twitch. So I was like, well, this is one way I could set myself aside, and then maybe one day if I'm bored and playing a video game anyway, if anybody wants to hang out, that's probably going to be a good avenue for me. All right, so this trick is called illogical conclusion. Chris M. Yee, you have requested this. I apologize, there will be no interaction, but if you just want to keep track, and actually everybody's welcome to play this game, you're going to try and keep track of how many red spot cards you see, okay? That's it, just red spot cards. That's all you're trying to find. Got it? Okay, cool. So first things first, I'm not going to show you any of the cards in this pile. So 2, 3, 4. But I'm going to show you all of the cards in this pile. Okay, so keep track of all the red spot cards. All right, so Okay, got it? Now, in order to make this fair, I'm going to go ahead and start cycling some of the cards between the two piles and then showing you all of the cards here again. All right, so first things first, I'm going to cycle out one card. Take the top card, and now I'll show you these again. Okay? So remember, you're just trying to keep track of how many red spot cards you see. Next, we're going to cycle two cards. So I'm going to take two cards from this pile here, place them at the bottom, and now I'm going to take the top two. 1, 2. Okay? And once again, we'll show you all these. Okay, 1, 3, 4. Excellent. Now, what we're going to do is take 3, 1, 2, 3, place all of those at the bottom of this pile, and take the next top 3. 1, 2, 3. Show you all these. Remember, the goal is to count how many red spot cards do you see. All right, and then we're going to make one more switch. Okay, we're just going to take this one and place it at the bottom and grab this one. And once again, I'll show you. Okay. So, first question. How many red spot cards did you see? So I'll wait for the answer from Chris M. Yee because he requested this. But if anybody else wants to put the number that you find in chat as well, how many red spots? Like anything that's not a face card and is red. So like we call spot cards like you know, any of the ace through 10 of that suit. Those are spot cards because they have the pips as the spots, and then everything else is a face card because, you know, jacks, queens, and kings have faces. So you definitely saw 4, but did you see 8? Did you see 6? Were you trying to keep track? Did you see some again? You think they were all spot cards, so you think you saw 8 different spot cards. Okay. All right. All right, Chris, let me show you 4 of these cards. We have 4 red spot cards here. So you're saying you saw 4 other red spot cards. I know, doing this trick probably didn't seem that impressive if they really were all red spot cards. But at any point during this trick, did you happen to see the Queen of Spades? Did at any point during this trick you saw the Queen of Clubs? No. Lol, no. Did at any point you see the King of Clubs? And then finally, did at any point during this trick you see the King of Spades? And that is my handling and performance of illogical conclusion. Chris M. Yee says, what on earth? Dime Package basically has an emote that says, I'm dead. Thanks for the claps, Chris. All right, let's see. Illogical conclusion. Played that. Sorry. Performed that. These aren't songs. These are tricks. All right. So I did not have any preconceived notion of how long I would go, but you know, I'm having fun, and any performance that I do on stream is basically extra practice for me. So this is great. So if anybody has any sort of feedback, feel free to send it to me. I don't have a Discord, so I mean, you can probably just whisper it to me on Twitch. But I guess I am in a bunch of Discord servers, so if you all know me from somewhere, feel free to tag me there. Anyway, okay, what we have here is a trick that is more or less storytelling. There's not as many sleights to this, but hopefully you enjoy. So the four burglars are going to be represented by the four jacks, and so we have these four jacks, and what they are is they are going to go ahead and continue planning their next heist. The heist is going to happen in the bank, which is going to be represented by the deck of cards. And so their heist, they're going to be trying to infiltrate and take whatever they can from all different parts of the bank. So first things first, let's go ahead and introduce the jacks. The Jack of Hearts. He's like a lock specialist. Jack of Clubs. He's the infiltrator. Jack of Diamonds. He is the coordinator. And then Jack of Spades. He's going to be the lookout, the one that actually stays on top of the bank. Now, what the lookout is going to do is he's going to just keep an eye out for police officers, CIA, FBI, literally anybody who's going to stop their heist. Now what we're going to do is grab the first jack. He's going to go ahead and grab everything from the cash registers. The next one is going to grab everything out of the safety deposit boxes. And then finally the last jack is going to grab everything out of the vault. So you can kind of see that they are all going to different various parts of the bank. But the lookout is here on the top. So now, quick, somebody in chat, tell the lookout that the coppers are coming. Are the coppers coming? No. Okay, look, they're doing all their dirty work. They're able to steal everything. Look, they've got like money bags and money bags. Dime package! The cops are coming! Alright, great. So now the Jack of Spades lets all of his thief buddies know that the jig is up. They better get out. So what do they do? They are all going to go ahead and run up to the roof. And on the roof they have their helicopter waiting to fly them out. As you can see, there's no other jacks. Those are the only jacks. And that is the four burglars and how they got away with DuckTales, Uncle Scrooge worth of money. Chris M.E., thanks for the claps. Dime Package, thanks for the request. Yeah, actually, this particular trick was one of the first tricks that I learned because it is not very sleight intensive. It's actually, I think, considered a beginner trick that some people can do, kind of just right away. Thank you kindly for the Squirrel Yells prepaid obsidian. First time chat from viewer. Poon Cranker, astonishing. Thanks for coming in, Poon Cranker. Welcome in. All right, Vinalia, this has been lovely, but I must bed. Have a lovely night, all. Vinalia, thanks for coming in. Have a glorious evening. Yeah. So a little bit about magic tricks. There's not just the technical aspect of doing the trick, but the storytelling is also a very important part of it as well. The word that magicians will use for the words that you say or the story that you tell is patter. There's a couple other words for it, but patter is the one that I hear the most. And let's see. So, but Poon Cranker, if you just jumped in or if you just came in during that trick, hi, my name is Nam. I am not a musician, but I am a sleight of hand magic enthusiast, and I have co-opted the StreamerSonglist to allow viewers to request tricks instead of songs. So That's basically what we're doing here. Today, I'm a relatively new streamer. This is actually my second stream. And so don't have too much streaming experience yet, but hoping to build it up. So hopefully you enjoyed. If anybody would like to make a request, you can pull up my trick list by doing !TL. So I did change the command so that it's not SL, so not song list. It is a trick list. I also have the alias tricks. Excellent, you found that. And if you don't know what to request, you can also do !random, and that will randomly put a trick into the list as well. See, for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and take a swig of water. Oh, thank you for the follow, Poon Cranker. Okay, first things first. I do need to pull out a bunch of cards for this trick. Okay, so first things first, I pulled out 12 cards from the deck. So this is called Family Unit. So before I begin, I have to explain to you what a family unit is in the concept of this trick. A family unit is a family that consists of a jack, a queen, and a king. It's maybe a little bit up to interpretation on who's married, who's the kid, who's adopted, but in either case, for this trick, it is going to be a king, queen, and a jack of the same suit. So what we have here is a bunch of all the face cards. And if you were here, I could have you cut the packet. And if anybody else was here, they could also cut the packet. So, but what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and split these into 3 different piles, like so. Now, let's see. Dime Package, you were the one that requested this one. If you could indicate A, B, or C, which pile you would like me to start with, that would be great. B. All right, so A, B, and C, we'll choose B. All right, first things first. Let's try to assemble the first family. So we've got a Queen of Diamonds. So let's go ahead and place the Queen of Diamonds there. And with any luck, hopefully, these should be the diamonds. So let's go ahead and scoop it up. I'm going to place them all into the house. This is my way of saying they're going to be put into a house. And believe it or not, we discovered that it's actually not the diamond household at all. It was actually the spade household the entire time. It's the equivalent of going into somebody's house being like, this is not my house. And then you find out the real family that lives there. So, all right. Dime Package. Again, A, B, or C. A. All right. Excellent. So, different one now. Okay. So what we're going to do is that is the King of Clubs. Now, I'm going to go ahead and place the King of Clubs there. And let's go ahead and hopefully this will be the club household. Once again, put all 3 cards into their house. But believe it or not, that was actually not the club household at all. It's not the clubhouse. Ha! Sorry. That was actually the diamond household the whole time. So here's the diamond household. I know. Okay, we've got 2 more houses, and what we can do is arrange these in any order that you would like. So why don't you go in chat dime package how you would like to stack them. If you went ABC, I would just go A, put it on top, put it on top. It could be CBA, it could be BAC, it could be CAB. So how would you like to arrange the stack of cards? CAB. So I'm going to grab pile C, place it on pile A, place it on pile B. So now we've got 6 cards left, definitely 2 houses left. But so what we're going to do is, okay, this is a heart, Jack of Hearts. We're going to go ahead and place that there. And we'll place this other card over here. And then now what we've got here is the Queen of Hearts. So we're going to go ahead and place that over here. And now what we've got here is the King of Hearts. And we're going to go ahead and place that here and place these 2 other cards over here. So this should be the Heart household. So let's go ahead and place them into their house. But lo and behold, we discover that it was indeed the Club household the entire time. Clubhouse. And then, of course, these must be the Heart household, but they can't be without a house. So I'm just going to go ahead and place them into my hand and show you that this is the Heart household. And that is my handling and performance of Family Unit. Thanks for the claps, Chris M.Yee and Dime Package. Yeah, so Family Unit. Harry Lorraine, he is someone who made a name for himself back in the 80s. And not so much for magic, but for memorization techniques. So if you look up Harry Lorraine, chances are you'll first find things about, how to better your memory and things like that. But for a while, he was also a very prolific magician as well. Dude Man, thanks for the lighter. Alright, let's see here. Alright, and we've got a request from Poon Cranker. It is called Oil and Water. Let's use spot cards for this. It tends to be easier for people to view. Alright. So another common plot in magic is that if you ever hear of a trick called oil and water, well, let me ask you this. What happens when you try and mix oil and water? What happens in the real world? Chris M.U. says, they don't mix. You are correct. So, what we have here are red cards and black cards. And basically what we're going to try and do is simulate the behavior of oil and water with these cards. So I'm going to go ahead and turn all of the red cards face down there. And I'm going to go ahead and grab all of the black cards. Now, let me remember how this starts because I don't quite 100% remember. I might have 2 bosses next time if this if this doesn't work. So first things first, let's go ahead and okay, I think I remember. All right. First things first, let's go ahead and start placing them and just mixing them down here. Okay, don't want to push anything out of camera. All right, so we've got a black card and a red card. Okay, black, red. All right, now let's see. Black, red, black, red, black, and red. Okay. All right. So now if I go ahead and I show you that, sorry, I'm just cheating because it has been a hot minute since I have done this. If we just go ahead and snap our fingers, would you now believe that these cards have separated into black and red once again? One's if you believe, two if you don't. Okay, because what we have here is black and red. Black and red. Black and red. Black and red. They've separated. Okay. Dime Package Chris and Dude Man all say one. Great. Thank you for your faith. Now, that might have not seemed that impressive because, admittedly, I did kind of forget what was going on and I did look. So let me go ahead and do that again, but hopefully this time it'll be way more impressive. So, the big difference though, last time I had started with a black card. So maybe this time I should start with a red card. So let's go ahead and start with a red card. So red. I think I can show you black, right? Black. Red. Black. And then we can just speed this process up, right? I can just go ahead and stick these in there. Black, red, black, red. And now if I just hold this for a second, like so, snap my fingers. And believe it or not, the red and black cards have separated. I could just stop this here as a comedy routine, but it would not be as impressive than if I had shown you that they're now separated. Because, well, actually remember the red cards floated up to the top, so they should float up to the top again. But we'd started with a red card this time, right? So if I show you this time, black sunk to the bottom. Red floated up to the top. Black sunk to the bottom. Red floated up to the top. Black sunk to the bottom. Red floated up to the top. Black sunk. No! Alright. So, 2 boss tricks. Alright, so oil and water is the other one. So maybe for next stream, I'll have to improve that. Here's my excuse for this. So you know how sometimes when you kind of mix oil and water, and sometimes this little intersection is where they get messed up. This is what happened. So, but we can. So I did mess that one up. But let's do a short 3-card version of oil and water. Sorry, 6-card version instead of the 8-card version. So what we can do with this is if I just place the black cards face down and the red cards face down. So if I go, let's see, black, red, I think I showed you this, right? Black, red, black, red. If I go ahead and I just split them now and snap my fingers, they should be separated, right? Yeah, there you go. And those are variations of oil and water. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Sorry for the little snafu at the very end. So close, but that's okay. I have to have some boss tricks for next time, I guess. So, yes, Dude Man, emulsions. That was great. Poon Cranker, still impressive. Thank you kindly. Chris MG, thanks for the claps. Dime Package, thanks for the heart. All right, how long have I been streaming? It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it seems like I've been up for a bit. All right. Okay, I'm going to stream for at least 2 hours, so that's definitely enough time for at least one trick. T-Cards, welcome in. If anybody else didn't know, I'm now no longer the only magician in the room. T-Cards is also a magician. He is actually a professional because he has had pro gigs in which he is paid for. He has been to the illustrious Magic Castle and has performed there. But yeah, let's shout out T-Cards. He also streams. He is a variety streamer though. He does stream like just hanging out, playing various different video games. He interleaves his magic with kind of like community interactions and other things that he's doing. So don't listen to him. T cards. Yeah, see, look, just it reinforces what I said. He was last seen streaming just chatting. So don't let him fool you. T cards, welcome in. I would like to show you my song list, which actually has magic tricks. So exclamation point TL. Go ahead and take a peruse if you would like. Please wait for your current cue trick to be. Oh, sorry, Poon Cranker. I did not clear out the trick that you had already. Let me go ahead and check mark that. All right, give it another try, Poon Cranker. My apologies. Hot damn, these are a lot of routines. I know. I don't know how many tricks I've done tonight. I've probably done at least 8 or 9, but had a couple of snafus. I made up one trick for someone earlier in the stream, and then this last one, oil and water, I did mess up once, but all of practice is great practice that I need. So yeah. Or if you know what, Poon Cranker, let me, if you want me to select one for you, I've got a fun game you can play if you would like. Just let me know if you are okay with me selecting one for you. All right, cool, excellent. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and perform Trading Kings. All right, Poon Cranker, since you are the spectator that conceivably selected this, I'm going to let you make all of the decisions in this particular trick. There are some decisions to be made. So, first things first. I don't want to lie to you. I do have 2 stacks of 4 cards. They're from different decks because they have different backs. You don't normally get these backs mixed in. So, all right. First things first. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want you to think that I'm like, hiding extra cards or anything. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, what I need to know from you, Poon Cranker, I need you to select. Oh, they're all kings, by the way. Hence the name Trading Kings. I need you to select 2 suits, but I need them to be guaranteedly different. So let's go ahead and say, why don't you choose 1 black suit, so either from clubs and spades, and then 1 red suit, hearts or diamonds. So choose 1 of each. And then at this point, I'm going to leave these piles on screen, won't break away. So you can go ahead and place them in chat when you're ready. So tell me which 2 suits you've selected. T-cards, let me know if you're ever planning on using your streamer song list for magic tricks. I can let you know what I did. So, all right, spades and diamonds. Okay, all right. Now, first things first. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I'm going to do. Hi, Keldon. Thanks for the follow. Welcome in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn up the spade, the king of spades and the king of diamonds, 1 in each of the piles, right? So here we go. I'm snap my fingers. Would you now believe that I've turned up the king of spades in this pile? Because look, watch. King of spades is now face up in this pile. And now, for this one, you selected the diamonds. Let me go ahead and snap my fingers. Would you now believe that I've turned up the king of diamonds in this pile? Because look, king of diamonds is now turned up in this pile. But wait, there's more. I don't know if you are aware, but Ron Popeil used to use this if you were familiar with infomercials from the 90s. But wait, there's more. Not only did I turn them face up, would you believe that I also swapped them in their own packets? So like, the thing is, this was the blue packet and this was the red packet. Would you believe that this king is actually a red-backed king and this king is actually a blue-backed king? So let's see. Pooncranker says, no way. All right, okay, here. Let me just show you. Watch. So I grab this. This is actually the red-backed king. And then this king of spades is actually a blue-backed king. Let me just let that settle in for a second. Like, Chris MU says, haha, hot dang. I Keldon's waving? Hi, I Keldon. Pooncranker says, holy! Dime Package says, sweet twist. But wait, there's more. Would you believe that I potentially manipulated you the whole time, and I knew that that's what you were going to say? Because I might have fibbed a little bit. I did say that they were all kings, but maybe I knew that that's what you were going to say. And those are the only kings you could have chosen, because if I show you, these cards had no kings on them to be chosen at all. And that is my handling and performance of Trading Kings. And I know it says requested by me, but thank you, Pooncranker, for the request and letting me pick a trick for you. Basically a magician's choice. All right. See, thank you for the claps. Dime Package, Chris M. Yee, Gibson Lens. Pooncranker says, what? Dude Man says, what? Pooncranker's like, insane. I know, right? This is crazy. I am crazy Asian. So, let's see. All right. Okay, so for me it is a little bit past 1:07. As I said, I'm on the East Coast. All right, last call. If anybody would like to request anything, now would be the time. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to do that. I meant to clear it. Sorry, I'm not good at modding yet. Modding my own stuff. So let's see. After this next trick, I will close out the queue, and then we'll call it. I'll find somebody to raid. We'll decide all that once we get there. Okay. So while I prep for the Restless Lady, there is a trick that I said I would be willing to do once per stream. It is the Invisible Deck. If anybody wants to request that one, we can also do that one. Alright, Unlark back in time to raid. Hey DTS, welcome back. Okay, so this trick is called, oh, I just realized we need the lady. I just realized I set aside a bunch of cards and none of them were the queen, which is partially what this requires. Okay. All right. So, okay, what we have here is the restless lady. First things first, we have a 6 of diamonds, a 7 of diamonds, an 8 of diamonds, a 9 of diamonds, and our restless lady. So the thing with this restless lady is that every time there's a group, she wants to kind of be with the group. So let's pretend I go ahead and I take the restless lady and place her down here. She is not here, but if I go ahead and I just grab the top card and I tap it, that gives her an avenue to jump from there to here. A little weird, right? So that's the strange thing with the lady. So even if I stick her in, she'll hop back up to the top. Now, here's the thing. If I go ahead and I leave her here once again, and if I have, these 3 cards, right? If I just go ahead and I give her an avenue to jump in, so like what if I go ahead and just grab this card and I just waved it over? Believe it or not, that's actually going to make her jump over here to the middle of this packet. Is that weird? So now look, if I go ahead and I grab her and I place her here, right? So now we have these 2 cards, but what if I go ahead and I grab this and I go ahead and I touch here? That's actually going to make her hop back up here. Such a restless lady. So I'm going to go ahead and place her down there. So this is definitely not her, right? But look, if I just go ahead and I just touch the packet, she's actually going to hop back up to the top. Isn't that strange? That's so weird. That's so weird, right? So here's the thing. If the restless lady is everywhere, she's going to appear as though she is everywhere, right? So here, look, you can kind of see. Looks like she's there, looks like she's there, looks like she's there, looks like she's there. Isn't that so strange? But look, here's the weirdest thing. If I go ahead and place her here, she has been annoying thus far. And you saw it, she was the queen of clubs, and we have here all of the diamonds. And after some peer pressure, she has kind of seen the error of her ways. And if we go ahead and touch, she's actually going to conform to the rest of the group. And she is actually going to become the queen of diamonds instead. And now we have a set of 5 matching diamonds. Isn't that strange? And that is my handling and performance of the restless queen. All right, so thanks for the Pika, Chris M. Yee. Thanks for the claps, Chris M. Yee. And yeah, if you guys have been using the lurk and unlurk commands, I had them say things like vanish and reproduce, because those are kind of the words and terminology that magicians will use. Yeah, so thanks for the claps. Gibson, I. Keldon, dime package. Lady can now get some sleep. Yeah, so just as a quick thing, so sometimes you'll make a card vanish and reproduce. So, and another quick thing that we can do is, let me just grab a bunch of cards here. This one I like doing as well as a quick thing. So what card is this? Are you sure? Because if you just hold your eyes on the 10 of spades really close, it's actually no longer. It is now the queen of diamonds. I know, that really restless queen of diamonds. All right, so I believe that is it. Clear that out. Let's SRS off. Well, everybody, this was actually a lot bigger than I anticipated it would be, but so thank you very much for everybody who came in to join. Thanks to everybody who made requests. I totally appreciate it. hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you liked the tricks enough that you may come back. Dude Man asks, do you do any flourishes? Short answer, no. I am not a cardist. I'm not into cardistry. I am basically just into the sleight of hand magic. I enjoy presenting tricks in a fun and interesting way. And actually, a couple of the guys can attest. If I know enough about the audience, so I can tailor some of these tricks to them. I think Gibson and Chris M. Yee, Gibson Lens and Chris M. Yee can attest. I did a funny trick last time that was a little inside. Iron for Feeder, thank you very much for the claps as well. So, all right. Long story short, my major raid strategy right now is literally just to raid music streamers that I know, because a lot of the people who would know how to use the streamer song list are musicians, and those are all the communities that I have been in. So I'm basically just going to raid musicians until I'm out of musicians, and we'll go from there. So anyway, hopefully you all enjoyed. Thank you very much for coming, and I think I'm going to be raiding, and I think some of the people who were here earlier ended up going to Music as Code, so we're going to raid Music as Code, and we're going to go there. So, but I appreciate everybody following, and I appreciate everybody staying and enjoying, and the interaction with chat. Tried to grab some tricks that were both interactive and very very engaging. So, all right. Okay, everybody. Oh, actually, yeah. Before I forget, we have a raid call. I made it. I forget about it. I don't have emotes or anything, so there's just one raid call. So, everybody, if you could copy the raid call. I was going to forget my own raid call. Thank you kindly for bringing it up again, Gibson. So, let's do that. And then also, Music as Code has a lot of people, so that'll also help grow the channel as well. So, all right, guys, have a glorious evening and have a good night. See you next time.
Crazy Asian spectators are slightly raiding in because like a sleigh. Thank you so much for the raid. Everyone who's coming in with crazy. My name's Dan. Thanks for being here. Thank you for
magic tricks are
I hope you had a good stream, Crazy. I don't think I even realized that you stream. Peter is eating.
Second stream.
He's so good at eating treats. He's one of the best treat eaters I have ever witnessed in my life. In my lifetime.
Okay, I should probably stop streaming. I just realized I forgot I did this last time.
He eats them with his mouth. He checks around to see if there's anything else. I mean,
have a good night, guys. See ya.
Do this?